I'm gonna put it in sport mode as we make this left turn, and we're gonna let her rip and see
Let's go, Tater Chip.
how she does.
Let's hope all the cameras stay on. This is our first pilot. What's going on, guys? I am Chase.
What's up? I'm Patty Rick.
Patty, what are we driving today?
We are driving a 2022 Toyota Tundra SR5. It is a 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. This one in particular is rear-wheel drive. It is available with a 2-speed transfer case for both 4 low and 4 high. I believe it's 389 horsepower, around about 475, 478.
Oh, you were so
foot-pounds of torque.
479.
Oh,
foot-pounds.
479. The EPA ratings are not actually out for this vehicle yet. Toyota claims an 18 city, 22 highway. In reality, I'm getting 17.7 city and about 25 highway. Towing capacity is 12,000 pounds on the non-hybrid motor.
Okay.
If you get the hybrid, the iForce Max hybrid that Toyota came out with this year for this brand new Tundra, you get slightly less. That's just due to the weight of the hybrid system and the battery that lives under that rear seat. You lose a little bit of towing capacity only for the weight of the rest of the systems of the vehicle. Max payload on this, ooh, it's high. If I recall, it's 1,950 pounds.
1,940.
Ooh.
How do you remember all these numbers? Jesus
because
Christ.
I have an encyclopedic knowledge of useless information outside of for today, obviously.
Thank God Patty's here, because I have whatever the opposite of that is, that's what I have. I can't remember numbers at all.
So we are currently driving an SR5. It is currently equipped with the SR5 convenience package. It's equipped with the SR5 technology package.
We love convenience.
There's a lot of packages that this particular truck has on it, which is great. We'll go over that a little later in the video.
And as tested, price is $54,457. Base price $41,455. Are all trucks this expensive? I'm an SUV guy, so
full size, half ton, 3/4 ton pickups are typically getting to be this expensive. 15 years ago, they were nowhere near this number, but thanks to inflation and also just the amount of technology these vehicles have, these trucks are luxury trucks at this point.
I didn't realize that until I took a spin in this thing, and I was like, bro, I didn't realize what a truck was before I was driving this thing around.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute. It's got nice leather. It's got heated seats. There's a heated steering wheel.
It has been literally, before I drove this, it has been years, like truly years since I've driven or ridden in a truck. I think the last time I rode in a truck, it was like, these are utilitarian and we do work.
Yeah, no AC, no power steering, roll-up windows.
Yeah, I think that was the first thing I said when I was in here. I was like, why does your steering wheel feel as light as my Subaru Outback? And you're like, it's because it's the same. Okay, so that's all the stats out of the way. So now we can just kind of like freaking talk about this thing. I
love this truck. I'm a huge fan of Toyota in general, but with this new 22 remodel that they did, it's a whole new truck. Toyota claims it's something like 98% redesigned from the outgoing model.
Right.
I mean, that's from that twin turbo V6 we were talking about. It's got a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's got mechanical locking differentials if you go up to like the TRD Off-Road and the TRD Pro models. There's just so much tech and so much new things that they've brought into this 22 model that is typically reserved for vehicles that are significantly more expensive. We're talking $75,000, $80,000,
right?
Big SUVs, Cadillacs, and things of that nature that, Toyota, they've never been the quickest to come out with new technology. Right. What they are really, really good at is taking technology and making it the best you'll ever see it.
So you gotta wait for it, but eventually when you get it, it's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah, and what they did with this model is they've been saving up. The second gen Tundra was in production, I wanna say from like 2007 up until 2021.
Now that's the last body style that we were talking about where like, I ain't never been a fan of these, but then when you roll up in yours, I'm like, well, hold the hell on now. We looking a little different, and we'll be outside the truck later in the video and talk about the things we like about it, but just in general, looks wise, this thing's a peach.
The green is really, really cool. The army green is what Toyota calls this color. It's really, really nice. When it's clean, it is very, very pretty. When it's dirty, it is very, very pretty.
Oh yeah, I can imagine like with a lot of mud on it.
Yeah, a lot of mud on it. You get it, especially here in Georgia, we got that red Georgia clay. It's a little bit of orange and red going on.
Contrasting colors. There you go.
They look good.
Get it green and get it dirty.
This particular truck does have a lot of really cool options. Again, the heated seats, the heated steering wheel. We've got LED lighting in the truck bed. We've got the Predator style steps on the side. There's a TRD skid plate under the front. There are a lot of really cool options that this truck happened to come with. Some of them are part of those convenience packages, the SR5 packages we were talking about earlier. Some of them are kind of individualized pieces.
Do they all have this giant freaking screen?
The 14-inch ridiculousness that is this infotainment system, no. So that is done via...
Not all of them
Not
come
all
with
of them
this?
have it, no.
Bro, do not get this truck without this screen, legitimately.
It's crazy. My wife has a RAV4, and when I've been driving this thing around for a couple weeks now, testing it out, and when I jump into my wife's car to let her drive this, I hate her screen. It's I think it's a 6.5 or 7-inch screen, which is, you know, half of this. But this 14-inch screen is bananas.
Like, once you have a vehicle with a screen like this, it's really hard. Like, I have a Subaru Outback, a brand new one.
Which has a good screen in it.
My screen is great, and but it's long, which is fine. The responsiveness of this screen, I'm going to be sad to drive home.
Yeah.
Like, it's the second you move your finger across, it moves.
Yeah.
The second you hit a button, it moves. My Subaru is like, it's like dial-up situation where I'll hit a button, and it's probably the thing that my wife and I hate the most about the car is the lagginess of the screen.
And this
you don't
thing
really
is like,
realize that until you get into a screen like this.
and it's like fiber. It's crazy. Like, you know, you tap a button and it immediately changes.
Right.
There is no delay at all. It does have integrated Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is fantastic.
Right.
And when you're on that Apple CarPlay menu, like we see here,
Chris,
it looks like a giant iPad, and the colors, like, there's tons of infotainment systems out there that are all really, really good, and some of them are, you know, better than others, obviously, but this one is just really impressive based on just the colors you can see. Like, it's...
No, truly. Having seen this screen, if I was in this truck without that screen, I would be sad.
Yeah, so I've seen these trucks with the smaller screens in them. They're not bad, to say the least. You know, I think they're, correct me if I'm wrong, it'll pop up right here, however many inches that screen is, but it's significantly smaller than this one. It doesn't look bad. It still does have, like, the Android Auto and the Apple CarPlay, which is great. It's just this screen is next level.
Inside of here, we've got a ton of space. Like,
loads.
On its own, this screen is freaking huge, and I think that fits the size of the truck really well. Because, like, on its own, like, in a regular car, it would be like, that screen is
it's massive, but given kind of the scope of everything else that's on this dashboard, it just fits really nicely. A couple of brands that do this, Audi, Mazda, Toyota's done it, where they have the screen that sits up really high on the dashboard. Like, it blocks
I know what you're
it kind of breaks up the horizon view of your dashboard.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this. This one fits just beautifully. It's able to really just blend in with the dashboard. It's not obtrusive. And I'm gonna put it in sport mode as we make this left turn, and we're gonna let her rip and see
Let's go, Tater Chip.
how she does.
Let's hope all the cameras stay on. This is our first pilot.
Oh, God. Oh, Billy.
This is what it's like. This is why truck drivers are assholes. You guys shouldn't be able to have fun in trucks. These should be utilitarian. If you don't think I'm putting this thing in sport mode to get on the highway, you've lost your mind.
I mean, honestly.
Okay, so let's talk about modes then. Because we got multiple, and you just ruined any sort of fuel economy you're gonna get.
What? Listen, I'm way more, at that point, I'm more concerned with giggles per mile.
Yeah, we're not worried about optimization here.
No.
This is about fun. Okay, so you got sport mode, clearly.
Yeah, we got sport mode. There's the normal mode, which is for your standard driving around. There is an eco mode, so if you're cruising on the freeway or if you're just wanting to save a little bit of gas. I typically cruise in eco mode in this vehicle just because it's, you know, it does have a little over a 32-gallon gas tank, which is great. Jeez. You get a ton of range. Like I said, we've been averaging high teens, low 20s for fuel economy.
Right.
But that $90 fill up still hurts the wallet a little bit. You're doing it less often.
Right.
But it hurts when it comes around. So I'm trying to delay that as much as I can with the eco mode.
Okay, so as an owner, are you just in eco or sport? Are those your two? Do you ever find yourself in normal mode?
I cruise in normal mode a good bit. I cruise in sport mode when I don't really cruise in sport mode. I'll drop it into sport mode.
Yeah, you're in a truck. If you're gonna put it in sport mode, you're intentionally saying I'm gonna put it in sport mode.
I'm putting it into sport mode if I need to make a pass on the freeway or, you know, pulling out of a turn out of a neighborhood or what have you.
Right.
And maybe it's a blind turn. I can't necessarily see what's coming. So I'll drop in sport mode and just kind of yeet my way through there, which is really...
Changing the modes also, that little scroll wheel,
Yep.
I love the way that wheel feels.
Yeah, this little dial right here is really fantastic. It's got a really good like texture to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of got, it's very similar. It looks just like the volume
Oh yeah,
like
it's the
control.
exact same knob. I didn't even
Yeah,
notice
so this
that.
one's a little bit bigger, but it's basically the same thing.
Right.
It's really tactile. It clicks really
You
well.
get a click when you go into each mode, even
Yep.
though it's just like a digital mode thing on
Yeah,
your dash.
it feels really nice. On that same dial, there's also the tow modes. This has a tow haul mode as well as a tow plus mode. It is really important for truck people, mainly because if your tow haul mode, the standard mode, is for small trailers, you know, like a utility trailer, maybe you're pulling around some lawn equipment or what have you.
Right.
But given the 12,000 pound towing capacity of this vehicle, that tow plus mode is where this thing really shines. You get that full power of that twin turbo V6.
Right.
That 10-speed automatic is really optimized for pulling that really heavy load.
Gotcha.
And it's just, it makes it so much smoother. I've towed a couple of times with this truck already, and it's surprisingly smooth. Something I will say, and it kind of, to loop around back to the technology side, is the blind spot monitoring on this truck is really, really cool, because when you have a trailer connected to it, you can go into the computer screen in the dash, assign the trailer an ID basically,
Right.
and then the blind spot monitors will extend based on the size of the trailer.
Oh.
Which is super cool.
very
As
cool,
somebody
yeah.
who's driven a lot of trucks, I used to drive a hauler for a couple of different race teams. I'm very used to checking my mirrors and really being on top of all that.
Right,
But having that
somebody
blind,
like me.
some idiot or somebody on a motorcycle, maybe I didn't see him at first, but that blind spot monitor will pick them up, which is fantastic. Ooh,
Hey Patty, can I drive?
yeah.
Thanks. On your mark, get set.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Boy,
Oh my god. I've ruined it.
how's the fat kid faster than you?
You're faster than me because I freaking tripped over the fucking audio cable thing. About ruined every bit of audio we have. Button, drive, let, yeet.
God, you have this all the way forward.
Wait, what mode are we in? Because if we're
normal.
not in sport mode,
Oh,
it's
God.
unacceptable. Welcome to Chase driving someone else's vehicle.
Oh god, that's sport mode. Jesus.
This does not drive like a truck, and I love it so much.
Tell me that sport mode isn't your favorite mode without telling me that sport mode is your favorite mode.
I'm not gonna lie. If I own this truck, there's no way in hell I'm driving with anything other than sport mode. Maybe on the highway, if I'm going for a long period of time, I'll put it in eco and I'll put adaptive cruise on, and I'll chill. I'm not a truck guy, so when I put this thing into sport mode and I get this little satisfying like, ka-tink, red drops down on the screen.
You
and
can
I'm like,
hear the turbos.
yeah, I'm like, yay, this is great. Sport mode's fun. But having not been a truck guy, when I got in here and I started turning, I am shocked at how smooth this truck is.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like input-wise like
Yeah.
a truck.
But
Like size-wise, sure.
size-wise, definitely, and this could be like asterisk with this, being up tall, I feel like I'm in a tank. That's how I was describing it earlier. Like, it's very tankish, especially with the green. Like, of course I feel like I'm in a tank. But like, I do feel big in here, and I think that kind of mentally led to me thinking it was going to be kind of sluggish when we were moving it around or driving through like tighter spots. But the second you get this thing going and you press the pedal, you steer back and forth, way more agile than you would expect it.
Yeah, and I think what that mainly is, another technical thing for you, is on this year, the 2022, they went away from the leaf spring rear suspension. So they have a multi-link suspension that you would find on an SUV or a car or something like that. And that's why you're getting that super stable, really comfortable ride.
Yeah.
And the back end, last time you drove a truck, you know, the back end, it's bouncing around all the time.
Which is what I expected coming into this.
Yeah,
You know, like
and this just doesn't do that.
this might be a really good truck to get for somebody that's not a truck person, because I think somebody is going to be really surprised riding a truck for the first time, or for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, for sure. If you've been a small SUV or a crossover style person, this is going to feel input-wise and kind of the ride quality very, very similar. If you've been cruising around in a Chevy Colorado, a Toyota Tacoma, something like that does have a traditional body on frame, leaf spring rear end, then it's going to be something that feels way different.
I'm a guy that really appreciates like the arm comfortability, and a lot of cars I'm doing like this thing where my elbow's up,
Yeah.
and then your hand goes numb because the blood can't flow.
I saw the divot on the Subaru where your elbow has been living.
I feel like I'm in a really good, comfortable place right here. So like
the upper part of the door.
And you have so much room over here.
And it's so, like, what I love about that is there's the lower part of the door. You've got the nice, like, split center console. The upper part of the door.
How many cup holders do you have in this car?
Don't you laugh at me because I know how many cup holders there are.
I do, but when you told me, I was like, who needs that many cup holders?
Well, because it's...
How many people can you fit in here?
I can fit 5 people.
Okay, so everybody can have almost 3 drinks.
Correct. Yeah.
14.
There are 14 cup holders. There's 2 here in the front middle of center console. There's 2 back here, 2 more in the drop down in the rear seat, and then there's 2 in each door. There's
14 cup holders.
14 cup holders, and then if you put the bed down, there's 2 circles where 2 more cups could go, so there's really 16.
You can hold 16 beverages in a car that can seat 5.
Yeah.
We need a cup holder ratio number for the videos.
Yeah, we'll put it up like here.
This is almost 3. It's like 2.7.
Yeah, the onboard navigation that Toyota built for this truck is fantastic. So if you want an American-made truck, you buy a Toyota. I know it sounds weird. It makes perfect sense, though. They're designed.
You want an American-made truck?
You
buy
a
Japanese
Toyota
brand.
Yeah, that's right. 100%, 8 days a week. And the reason for that is they're totally R&D'd in Southern California, Northern California, and Michigan, and they're built here in Texas.
Here in Texas?
Here in Texas, like we're in Texas. We're not in Texas.
Georgia.
We're in Georgia.
Yeah.
But they're built here in the USA, in Texas, using all American-made steel, American-made aluminum.
That is pretty cool. Like, I don't know whose thought it was at the Toyota headquarters in Japan to be like, hey, Americans really like trucks. Build everything in America.
Yeah, we're just going to build them there because it's too expensive to ship them.
The bigger they are, the more expensive they are to ship. Who would have thought?
It's weird how that works.
Right. Dude, I love driving this thing.
It's so nice.
Oh no, I'm in sport mode.
Oh no, there's a car coming and I've got to gas it. But now we got clear room. Away! Oh shit!
Okay, I would, let me tell you, if I owned this truck, I would get 2 miles a gallon because I would pedal to the metal just to hear the, and then I would stop. When you do that, do you notice that there's like the power comes up and then you can let totally off and then the power like slowly chills down?
Yep.
Okay, why does it do that?
So that is just, again, just a nature of the 10-speed mapped to that twin turbo V6. So as you're gassing it, that turbo pressure is going to come up, kind of bleeds off fairly slowly. They did that with this transmission setup to make it to where if you had to get right back on throttle fairly quickly, you can.
Well, no, like I love that because you don't have that kind of like jerk forward if the power cut. You wouldn't have as smooth of a ride. You don't have that because like with a motorcycle for sure, like you let off the throttle and you're just like thrown forward.
Yeah, and that's it's something called engine braking. And this truck in sport mode, in normal mode, has an okay amount of it. I'm a fan of engine braking. It's just a more efficient way to slow the vehicle down.
Right.
In eco mode, there is virtually none. Again, that is for the fuel economy, so you can coast a little bit easier in that mode. In tow haul mode, the engine braking is real. It is real.
So you gotta be ready. You're gonna be
you gotta be ready. You're not gonna be thrown forward, but you're definitely gonna feel it. And that's what you want in a tow haul mode anyway.
Yeah. Because you got even more weight.
Yeah, you've got a ton of weight behind you. You're rolling down a hill. You don't want to have to be just nuking your brakes out.
Right.
Just to slow the vehicle down. You can just kind of lift and let it do its thing.
So, speaking of things that slow you down, how do you feel about the brakes?
I love the brakes on this truck. They feel like a huge upgrade over most mid-size truck brakes.
Okay.
I was not expecting that moving to a full-size truck. I was expecting them to suck, to be entirely honest. They do a really, really good job, even when you're hauling, even when you're towing. The brakes work really well. The built-in trailer brake controller is fantastic. And Chase is real happy because we're getting on the freeway.
Oh, I'm sorry, car. Let me just don't cut you off. Patty, it's time.
Do the thing?
Highway entrance. This is my favorite part, even though it's most of the way through the video.
Well,
I'm just gonna wait, just casual. I'm a normal guy. I'm getting on the highway. No, I'm not. I'm a psychopath.
Slingshot engaged.
That will not get old.
Oh, jeez. And we would never exceed the speed limit. That would be unsafe.
That's why the cameras are looking back at us.
And unwise. We do all of this in a controlled environment. Who it's controlled by, we don't know. It's not us. But
I enjoy driving a truck too much.
It's a fantastic vehicle in almost every category.
Oh, almost. What
almost.
is it not? What's one of your cons?
So my kind of number one con with this truck is the back seat,
Okay.
which people are gonna be like, wait, the Tundra has a massive back seat, and it does.
Right.
It has a really, really massive back seat. It's super comfortable. It's got plenty of, again, 14 friggin' cup holders.
Right.
So you're not worried about that. My issue is the seats are very vertical.
Oh, okay.
So you're sitting very upright when you're in the back seat. It's comfortable, make no mistake. We recently did an 8-hour road trip in this vehicle. I had 3 full-size adults in the back of this thing.
Right.
And they were comfortable and happy to keep on trucking the whole time. As a bigger fella, you've got plenty of legroom, you got plenty of headroom, but sitting so upright is just a little uncomfortable.
Also, we're here on the highway we're going above highway speeds.
Yeah.
Super comfortable, super chill. I can't hear a ton of road noise. And how do I do the lane thing? Okay, so the truck can drive itself.
Yeah, the truck literally drives itself. Holds
Okay.
itself in the lane, no problem. What is really, really nice, yeah, no hands, Mom.
Don't do that.
Don't do that, it's unsafe.
Oh, you did the thing. Okay.
Yep,
told me how
always
to-
keep a hand on the steering wheel.
Yes,
it
we
is
would
not an
never.
autopilot. It is just to help you center the lane. From who I've spoken to at Toyota and kind of the research I've done and just driving this for the last couple of weeks, it's extremely helpful when you're out on the freeway on a really, really windy day. That's kind of always pushing you to one side. It's just kind of a pain in the butt. You can set that mode and you can keep your hand on the steering wheel, but you're not constantly fighting the wind. The truck really does it for you.
It really helps on those really long road trips where you guys just do a ton of highway. Also, it can do this.
Other way. There you go. Chase's second favorite thing about the 2022 Tundra is that back window right back there.
Absolutely. Okay, I will now put it back up for audio reasons.
Super cool. Opens and closes all the way. It is a feature that's been on the Tundras for a while now.
And it better stay.
Yeah, and it better stay. It is a fan favorite. It's super cool. You let all the windows down. It really lets the air just fly right through the truck.
You get none of that weird buffering.
You don't get the weird
makes you
buffeting.
lose
The
your
people in the
mind.
back seats aren't going to get that weird pressure bounce.
My favorite part about this truck, and part of this is probably because the car I currently own annoys the shit out of me the most, is the buttons on the console. I love that the buttons that you want to have quick access to are hard buttons.
Yeah.
It's not in the, every car can do tons of menu stuff, but there are certain things where I don't want menu stuff. For my AC, I don't want to do menu stuff. I want bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
And then
Up
for
and down
heated
temperature
seat.
control,
Yeah.
heated seats.
Heated seats. So the fact that this has, for one, the buttons feel great. I love the little ridges. They go up and down. Super solid on the buttons, and they make a lot of sense because it doesn't take up a lot of space, but you get a ton of options. And the heated seats thing, just one button press to activate.
Yep.
Freaking love
3
that.
modes, which is great. So there's a high, medium, low,
Right.
and then off, obviously. But it's really nice. You can just tap a button. Cool thing about this is they are memory. So if you turn it on, and you're planning on getting in the truck in the morning, it's going to be a little cool in the morning. You can turn those on, use the remote start feature. You can use, Toyota's got their connected services via their app for iPhone and Android. You can start your truck. It'll idle for 10 minutes. Your seat will get nice and warm. Your heat will get nice and warm. So in cold winter mornings, you got nothing to worry about. A super cool thing about the 22 Tundra is anytime I get in the truck, it recognizes my key and sets up my preferences for the radio and for the seat, and it doesn't do the mirrors, which is fine. My profile is stored on my key, which is super cool. I don't have to worry about setting my seat where I want it. My seat warmer is where I want to have them. The AC is where I like it. All my favorites are stored to my profile. So when Paige, my wife, gets in the car, she gets in, the seat moves to where she likes it. Her favorites pop up on the radio.
I like that
her
a lot.
AC settings that she left it on last are there. So you don't have to worry about, oh, my wife drove my truck, my husband drove my truck, and changed all of my settings.
Well, so
they're just there.
That, I know that's tiny creature comfort shit,
Yep.
but Heather and I drive a vehicle, our seat positions, I don't know if they could be more different, because when I get in the car after she's driven, I can almost not fit in it where the steering wheel is.
Oh, yeah.
So if my car had that, bro, I would
So
love
good.
that so much. I think we've covered basically everything about the driving experience, so let's get pulled over and let's check out the outside of this truck, because I think this thing looks awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Is it okay if it beeps there, Patsy?
I don't be caring if she beeps.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Toyota Tundra. Okay, Patty, we have your lights on.
Yep.
You're super happy about the lights.
I do. I love the lights. They're super bright. They're Toyota's new non-matrix LEDs. So they are 1-800 super bright.
They also look cool. I really like the design of the headlights.
Yeah.
The
fog
grill, super solid.
The grill is the grill be the grilliest grill to grill on your grilly's grill. No.
Of course, we have literally the windiest day on our pilot episode of this video. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys.
All right, lads.
Okay, so front of the car. So this is the green we were talking about. You guys been seeing camera car footage. Jesus, Patty. God.
Oh.
We're not professionals yet, but we're working there. I'd really love the green. I can't wait to see the camera car footage with all the fall leaves and the green.
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna look sick.
The army green's what Toyota's calling it. Forest green, baby puke green, whatever you want to call it. I love it. I think it's a fantastic color.
I don't think you have a big enough grill.
It works though. It's got a bunch of really cool technology behind it.
Right.
Not only have we got our really nice LED fog lights here, we've got our radar cruise control sensor.
Oh, and you have the bumper that comes down.
Yep. So under there is a little skirt, I think is what they call it, an airfoil skirt that drops down over 35 miles an hour. Super rad. Way up under there, I did option for the all aluminum TRD off-road skid plate.
Nice.
Just in the event I got a little off-road with it.
Right.
Had some fun. But cool thing about these trucks, inside of here, there's actually a shutter system.
Okay.
So there's a system of shutters, for lack of a better term, that open and close based on how hot the vehicle is. So really, really deep in the wintertime, first thing in the morning, they're gonna stay closed. It actually prevents airflow to the radiator so that everything can heat up, and then they open again.
Pretty cool. Overall, I really like the look of this truck. Let's move to the side.
Cool, let's do it.
All right, to the side of the Toyota Tundra. Show them what they got, Patrick.
Alrighty, folks. Doors.
Here,
so many doors.
Let me model for you.
So,
So comfortable, much like.
here on the 2022 Toyota Tundra, we've got approximately metric tons of legroom, headroom, stretch room, elbow room, knee room, butt room. You got all sorts of room.
I have full extension on legs, and I'm 5'10".
Yeah. How much headroom do you have? Approximately all of it.
I can't get up there, so yeah, I got this much space left.
So probably a good 4 or 5 inches of headroom, which is fantastic. One of the big talking points about the Tundra, and always has been, is actually the size of this rear door. So what's really crazy about this is our Crew Max, or the Crew Max model. So it's got a larger rear seat than compared to like a traditional double cab. So much larger, you got about 8.5, almost 9 full inches of extra leg room.
I'm very comfortable.
It's bananas. Like, it's even as I talked about earlier, that kind of very upright seating position is not bad. It's just not great for me being a bit of a bigger guy. I love the step up from those Predator step bars, as well as the handle. All 4 entrances to this vehicle do have that really nice grab handle for getting in and out. If you've got your grandma with you, or if you just got a bum knee like I do, it does help to get in and out of the vehicle.
If you don't have somebody in the back, or if you do, you got storage underneath the seat.
We
as
do.
Well.
We do. We've got storage underneath as well as behind the seat. Let me hop out and we'll show you that real quick. Nope. To open it, you don't have to pull it. You do to close it, because you can actually lock these seats up, which is fantastic. So if you've got something really large you want to lay down in this back seat, something you want to keep dry but maybe doesn't necessarily need to be in the bed, you can set it down here. Now, Toyota offers a ton of accessories for this storage compartment. They offer like covers for it. They offer dividers. So like, for instance, I do have a full-size umbrella with plenty of extra space back here. You know, and for our outdoorsy folks, maybe the fall-time hunter people, you'll notice some really cool storage options for that as well.
Ah, nice. We're on YouTube, so we got to be careful. Thank you.
Yep. And then again, just as easy as that came up, you pull the tab right here, and it drops right back down. Super easy to use, really, really nice and convenient. And then again, as with the underseat storage, you have rear seat storage. So there are a pull tab, yours is gonna be in the middle. So as just with the underseat storage, you do have behind seat storage. So these guys do fold, not quite flat, but they do fold down really, really far. And that way you can get to whatever you may have back here. For instance, Toyota does put your bottle jack and your tire iron in the event you have a flat or something weird like that, for the full-size spare that's kept under the bed. And then I've got some straps in there and some other things used for truck stuff.
Ah, the bed. A perfect segue. Let's talk about the bed.
So
to the rear.
So speaking of the bed you just mentioned, as did I, what's really, really cool about the Toyota Tundra for 2022 is they went with a composite bed material, similar to that of the previous 2 generations of Tacoma. So super common if you've been a Toyota fan for a while, this looks totally normal. Biggest difference between this and the Tacoma is it is structurally reinforced by high-strength aluminum and high-strength steel that comes from that brand new for 2022 full boxed-in frame, which is great. And then Chase, if you will, I know this is your favorite thing.
This thing is so light. For one, it's a button.
It is
terrifying, by the way. I shit myself a little bit.
So super cool style thing. They've had this on the Tacoma for a couple years. I believe they had it on the previous generation Tundra as well. Essentially, there's 2 clutch style systems built into the hinge that allow it to drop seamlessly, which is really nice. Really cool thing about this tailgate, everyone knows if you've done a lot of truck stuff, you've put in a lot of stuff in there, you've been working all day, these things can be really heavy.
The last truck that I touched, the tail was like...
Oh yeah, they're like 70 pounds or whatever.
Obviously I'm a weak human. But,
well, that's okay, but for 2022, they're 20% lighter and that's easy. What's really, really cool is you can now lock your bed. It comes standard on all Tundra models. So you don't have to worry about having a key to lock your bed. You don't have to worry about if you've got a bed cover or a cap. Security-wise, somebody coming up and pulling that latch. But again, with a button, this latch is purely for show. It houses both the opening button, the lock button, and the backup camera, which is fantastic.
Speaking of the rear, we do have a AC 120 volt over on the side.
Yep, 12400 right here on the side, which is great.
Yeah.
So you can power, if you're on a work site, you can power a saw, you can power,
for me,
chargers, you can charge camera gears when we're on a shoot, what have you. We've got really nice bed lights built into the side as well as up here on either side of the taillight.
So the bed lights are optional.
They are an option for this truck. The ones up there are standard, but the ones on the side are optional. They are surprisingly bright. I didn't believe they were as bright as everybody said on the internet, and then I went and turned them on one night.
I went and did a truck thing at night.
Yeah, I did some nighttime truck stuff and just about blinded myself. So these are really cool. It's a cleat system that Toyota's had for a couple years now. Essentially, they are little movable tie-down posts, so you can slide them into one of many positions all along the truck bed. It's really, really convenient. It makes life really easy. If you're tying down like a motorcycle even, you can go to here. And these have, I don't know the number off the top of my head, I'll bring it up right here, but a ridiculous amount of strength. I want to say it's well over 200 or 300 pounds that you can tie to that.
Per?
Yeah, per.
Tail, how do we feel about the bag? I love the super long tail lights.
The super big taillights are really rad. They're very, very visible. It's a very distinct look for Tundra this year. I really like the inlay. They've been doing this for a couple years now. Now from Toyota,
love that look too.
It's super cool. It's subtle.
And it matches that front piece.
It matches the front piece, exactly. Yeah. So what's really cool is you can get inlays for these. So Toyota sells basically it's a black sticker that goes in there to make it a little more stand out. There are aftermarket companies that do them in different colors. So like bronze, for instance, if you're into the bronze and green, very Master Chief Army look. One of my favorite features is how flat this rear bumper is. So in reference to the back of the bed, in reference to your actual tailgate, this doesn't stick out, 3 or 4 inches. You're not going to bonk it on something on accident.
Right.
Because again, the backup camera is fantastic, but it's really close to the body line.
Well, the way it's curved too, you can still get your feet on here.
Yeah, you can still climb up on there, no problem. No big deal.
Right.
Up there and get it.
We got the plug-in for the trailer,
yep.
And we got lights here on the back.
We've got a 7-pin and we've got the 4-pin plug, so you can do like your traditional really big trailers. Trailer brakes are not going to be a problem with this truck. And then we've got both the reverse lights are here as the tag lights are as well. So it's kind of a nice, kind of cornered off light.
My question to you is, when are you going to get black wheels for this thing?
I'm not.
Tragedy.
I'm not. I'm getting bronze wheels.
Oh.
And I'm going to get the bronze inlay for the Tundra emblem, because what we haven't told you yet is I love this truck so much, I bought it. It's mine.
This is actually Patty's. It's a pilot episode. We don't have connections yet.
We don't. We're getting there. But this is a vehicle that I've been looking at for a really long time. My dad's got a 21 Tundra. I came out of a 2019 Tacoma. I've had a 2015 Tacoma. My wife has a 2020 RAV4.
So you're in the space.
I'm a Toyota guy.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with the product.
Well, so you seem to like it a lot. So let's do final thoughts. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's literally the windiest day it's ever been. Jesus Christ. All right, Patty, final thoughts on the, your final thoughts don't even count. You bought the dang thing.
Yeah, I bought it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. My one biggest complaint is really that the auto stop starts annoying. I have to turn it off every time I get in the truck. Every brand does it. The back seats aren't super comfortable for me. It's my truck. I don't belong in the back seat, so it doesn't bother me either way.
That's why that was a selling feature. Pros and cons. I love the buttons on the front. I
Yep.
love what they've decided to make buttons. Screen's awesome. Agile as hell. Did not expect that out of a truck.
Nope.
Cons. I want more visibility.
Boosty boys.
Boosty boys?
The 2 turbos, that's probably your #1
The
pro.
turbos are great. I love the turbos. As you guys could tell from the pedaling I did.
Yeah,
And the absolute shitty guy driving. Cons, I do want more visibility. Honestly, that's it. I can't think of anything else. I feel like I want to see more.
You want to see more, and I think you're really used to your Subaru. Subarus are known for having extremely good visibility.
So I'm not a truck guy, so that could be normal. So like,
getting used to, like, as somebody who came from the Tacoma, which is a significantly smaller vehicle, that's a 1/4-ton pickup.
Right.
This is got way more visibility than a Tacoma does.
It sounds like we need to do more reviews.
It does. And if you guys would like, subscribe, and support the channel, we are going to have the ability to pump out more reviews for you guys.
And hopefully we can make more On 4 Wheels reviews. And on that, we'll see you on the next one.
Outro crew, all 2 of you, which is going to be me and him.
We're gonna be the only ones watching our video.
Yeah,
I love
we
it.
are
Okay.
our outro crew. It's episode 1, Pilot 1, 2022 Tundra.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about the whole channel? This is the first thing.
Yeah.
This is the first video these people have seen.
I know. It's very different, and also very much this. My coffee just spilled everywhere.
R.I.P.
Rip to my coffee.
Patty's coffee.
What do you think? What do you think? I had a blast. I think this is a ton of
I had
fun.
a really good time doing this. I've liked cars for a very long time. I have obviously made a career out of motorcycles, but I'm very excited for an additional chapter moving forward.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought about this first episode in the comments down below, guys. And,
yeah. What did we miss? What
yeah.
did we do well on?
What do we need to do?
Should we
more of?
quit?
Help us, please.
Yeah.
We just want to ride more cars.
Yeah. I'm
I
trying
need to drive more trucks. Basically.
Yeah. This is a lease. I'm trying to keep the miles off it. I need more cars to play with.
Yeah. So like and subscribe. Best way to help out. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye bye.